bit more than we there. So when we'd finished unloading the ambulance, I thought we would just shut the doors and drive back to the border, and that would be the end of it. As it turned out, we were invited into the base, which from the looks of it was a government building or an office block. There was a fairly large hall that was being used as a barracks, where there were men sleeping. There were clothes, food, beds everywhere. It was quite a busy place. We were asked to take some photos, and I was told at that point I think we were the first non-Ukrainians to go in the building. It was quite an honour for them to trust us enough to come in. And we got talking to a few of the Ukrainians, and it then became apparent just what it meant to these guys to have not only people come to them and give them supplies, essential supplies that they need just to survive. Also the thought of people from thousands of miles away thinking about them, thinking how they can help them, and doing what they can to help. And although you can't eat hope, but it was almost as if what we'd taken them was great, but the thought of people wanting to help them was almost better than what we'd taken them. It was quite strange and very surreal and very emotional. They couldn't quite believe that someone had driven all that way with this stuff, and also my Polish friends had come as well, and I don't think it was particularly dangerous, but it's just it wasn't a common occurrence. And I was incredibly proud to have been able to take things from England that had been donated to where they were needed in Ukraine, and see these guys and hope that they're going to be successful in what they want to do, because they believe they're going to win. They believe they're going to defeat Putin. They know that on the side of right and wrong, they are 100% right, and what's happening is wrong. And they're prepared to stand up for what they believe in, their country, their family. It's incredible. And I told them that the people of England are with them and support them and want to help them. And yeah, it was very emotional, and to be able to help people who have, through no fault of their own, found themselves in that situation was very humbling. And I mean, these guys only 2 weeks ago were doctors or farmers or teachers, and now they're walking around with a yellow bit of duct tape on their arm and a gun, and they're prepared to go outside and be shot at by, as they say, the fucking Russians, in order to stand up for what they believe in, and they're prepared to die to do the right thing. And for me to get in a van and drive for a bit and help out is nothing compared to what those guys are doing. So yeah, it was strange. They would say, you hero, you crazy Englishman, you drive this way, and it was a bit surreal really to see these guys who are far braver, far more committed than I think anyone can really imagine. It was quite surreal really. So anyway, after these pictures, we get taken upstairs, about 10 flights of stairs, to an office. There's some coffee and a chat, and we talk, and everyone's in good spirits. They're joking and laughing, and one of the guys who I chatted to downstairs, he bought me a bottle of whiskey and some chocolates for my kids and some meat. And I said I can't take it. I've come here to give, not to take. And some of my Polish friends said, no, you have to take it. It's a sign of gratitude, and I don't take it as a personal sign of gratitude. It's not just me by myself doing this. I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done without the help of the community and Lou and the family. So it was again incredible, and I didn't really have I didn't really want to say I don't like whiskey, but I took the whiskey, and it'll go somewhere. It'll go to good use. But it was just the most surreal experience to be part of something that I'd a few days ago seen on TV, and like everyone felt helpless to do anything about, and to hopefully make some degree of tangible difference in an event that is going to be pretty historic, I think, going forward. So yeah, that was that experience, and I don't think it was just me that was emotionally affected. It was all of my Polish friends. They were so happy to be helping, and yeah, it was incredible. So it's quite late by this point, so we kind of head back to the vans. We had a military escort back to a checkpoint. We then drove back to the border, where you would think it would be pretty easy to get back into Poland, but as it seems with the border, it isn't. And you have to remember that there's miles and miles and miles of buses and cars and tractors and people on foot just trying to get out of the country. So it's quite chaotic, and again quite troubling to see. I mean, it's the same as what it is on the news, but to see it in person, especially children displaced from their home, it just shouldn't happen. But it is, and the world, it seems to be coming together to help these guys, which is again what should happen. So get to the border again, more papers, more vehicle passports. About an hour goes by, and it looks like for a time that we're not going to be getting out because we haven't got the right clearance or documentation. A few phone calls, a few angry looks, and we're on our way. We get out of there and we drive to Shamak's house. I leave the van there and go back to Radak's place, and yeah, we have a few drinks and talk about it. But it was pretty incredible. And at this point, I'm luckily sleeping on Radak's sofa bed in his living room, so at least I've got somewhere nice to stay for a change. Next morning, wake up, and I'm aware that although I've tried to use the donations given to me for this trip, there was enough equipment and supplies, but there's future supplies that need to be purchased to go back over to Ukraine. That's going to be that will be organised by Martin and Shamak and the whole team. So although I couldn't personally purchase supplies over there, I'm in contact with the guys back in Svidnik, and they're planning to go out again. The communication is quite tricky, but at the weekend, so in 3 days' time, if not 4. And again, they're going to purchase supplies which are fairly tricky to get in Poland, I understand, because a lot of it's already been bought and taken over to Ukraine. So they're having to be resourceful, looking to Germany and all the neighbouring countries where you can get such things. So that's the next stage, really. The money's in the bank. The guys know how much everyone's donated, and they're incredibly thankful for that. Again, they're amazed that people have been so generous. So they will use that in the best way they can. It will go towards hospital equipment, supplies. It will go to help the troops in Kyiv. They have a train that leaves from Svidnik twice a week, that they're going to load with all the things that you've probably seen on lists already. Bulletproof vests. I mean, I gave them my generator, so that's going to be on a train to Kyiv. Hard hats, more medical supplies, tourniquets, walkie-talkies, everything you can think of that would be useful in a time of conflict. So that's where the donations are going to be used. And that's where we are. I'm now driving back. I've got about 3 hours until I get to Calais. I got a bit bored, so I thought I'd talk to the camera for a bit and try and explain the last week or so. But it appears that even at Calais there's some issues with a lot of Ukrainian women and children turning up, hoping they can get the ferry or the train to the UK, which they can't. So in the back of my mind, I think I'll try and turn up and see if I can be of any use, and again, not a hindrance. Whether someone needs to go to Lille, or I can drive some people over on the ferry, I'm not really sure yet. I might just be coming back by myself, but at this point, hopefully, the journey hasn't quite finished, and me and the Malberts can do a bit more good. And that's it. That's the last 10 days. A lot of rambling. Sorry about that. I mean, I'm very, very lucky to have been able to do what I've done. I've had the support of Laura, and without that, I couldn't have left. So I do feel bad for leaving her back in England with the 2 kids, but she's got Ethan to help out a little bit. So that's not so bad. I probably would have stayed longer, in fairness. I think I could have continued to be helpful, but you know, you can only do so much, and Lee wanted me home, so I'm coming home. And that's it. That might not be the end. There might be another few additions to the story. There might not. But that's where we are now. Slava Ukrainia.